In the theory of moral sentiments, Adam Smith takes a front row seat and watches as the trends of the day take their turn down the catwalk. Smith was interested in emerging garden and furniture trends rather than the gadgets that dominate today's consumer spending. However, he does provide some clever reflections on the consumer cycle of clothing, which at the time would have been very expensive. Smith's perspective is very relevant to the current climate discourse when we consider the risks that fast fashion and accelerated trend cycles pose. He comments that
the modes of dress and furniture are continually changing, and that fashion appearing ridiculous today, which was admired 5 years ago, we're experimentally convinced that it owed its vogue chiefly or entirely to custom and fashion.
the reason we buy new things, because they are in fashion, is exactly the reason why its value decreases so quickly. The trendy goalposts are continually moving and staying one step ahead. In Smith's time, a trend cycle lasted 5 years. In today's society, we are lucky if it lasts 5 minutes. Poorly made, hardly worn garments are quickly discarded in favour of the next fleeting trend and are often left to decay in vast landfills. However, his discussion of trend cycles also encourages us to view sustainable fashion as a social rather than individual pursuit. He suggests that trends and our willingness to follow them are largely influenced by social pressures and a fear of judgment. Even in the 18th century, Smith was keenly aware that we consumed new goods not solely for survival, but for pleasure and as a social pursuit. He emphasises that,
what then is the object pursued by mankind, if it is not the pleasure, comfort and ease afforded by the acquisition of a large stock of worldly goods? Briefly, the recognition and admiration of our fellow human beings.
at times this can be destructive, not only for the environment, but for people themselves. And Smith asks,
how many people ruin themselves by laying out money on trinkets of frivolous utility?
what we see today is an acceleration of the pressures that existed hundreds of years ago. However, we can take back our power as consumers and live more ethically and sustainably by challenging the trend cycles and the social pressures that have existed since Smith was alive.